Josh, how are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. 2 weeks out of my fight and focused, everything's going as planned.
First question is, where have you been?
I had some time to regroup. They offered me a fight back after my fight in May. I believe it was in May. I had some fight offers in July, and that was a little quick turnover. I was still healing from some injuries, so I held off on those opportunities. I was looking to fight maybe October, and then it became the end of the year. I would have liked to fight by the end of the year, but opportunities didn't present themselves. So I just put my head down, continued training. It wasn't the first time that I've had maybe a little stint in the layoff, but there's still work to be done. I'm looking at the long game, how I can get better. I've been developing my wrestling, sharpening up on the things my weaknesses in striking, and just being able to blend it all together and enjoying the process.
I'm always fascinated on how professional athletes deal with their first professional loss, right? And you had been undefeated even back to your amateur fights, right? So I guess what were the emotions like after your fight with Trey Waters?
That's a good question, and there were different emotions that came up. But honestly, I respect Trey, and I respect him. I believe he was a better martial artist in that day. He exposed my weaknesses, exposed things that I didn't know that I needed to work on. And it was kind of a learning experience. I believe I learned more from my loss than all my wins, and I'm enjoying to reflect and get better at the things that I wasn't. Sorry. The first loss was. Let's see. The first loss was a little bit of a weight off my shoulders. I was on that trajectory to be undefeated, to be one of those prospects, to be, shooting for that top 10. And then somebody comes out from the woodworks, not in the UFC, but a high-level guy in his own right. I believe that he worked his way up to the LFA and became a high-level martial artist. And it doesn't matter whether you're in the UFC or in maybe LFA, it's the martial artist you are. And I respect Trey and his level of professionalism and level of skill. And he showed me what I had to work on. And after that fight, I reflected. My coach, we were able to talk and see what I had to work on, and I've been doing my diligence, fighting somebody similar to those attributes. I look forward to coming out a different fighter.
So you would say there's less pressure on your shoulders now because you don't have that on your record.
Yeah, I was putting a lot of some pressure on myself, and I feel that might have made me a little more closed-minded. I just trained with just a small group and was looking for that knockout in that fight, and I was looking for the big shot. And when I wasn't able to work footwork, I wasn't able to do different aspects, and being kind of one-track minded hurt me in the end.
This is a moral question for me, but obviously we all know you're striking great, you have knockout power, that's what you're known for, but you're a very, very good grappler. So in that fight, was there ever a thought to take him down and go for a submission, or was it just you want to knock this guy out?
Good. That's a good question. In that last fight with Trey, when I wasn't getting the success I wanted in standing up, I was looking for the takedown here and there, but I feel like I did it a little late. He had my number, he had my timing down, and I just couldn't get him down to the ground. And when I reflect, I think I should have had different approaches, shouldn't have went in with just one strategy, had different strategies, A, B, and C. If this doesn't work, adjust. And I believe the rigidity of my fighting kind of led to my downfall. But like Bruce Lee says, you have to be like water. You have to adapt to your surroundings, and my coach has been helping me with that, being able to expand my mind, different expanding the rhythm of the fight. If it's not going this way, switch it up, switch it up. So looking forward to this next one. Not set on a certain way to win, but going for that win.
Is it safe to say we might see it a little bit more of your grappling going forward?
Yes, sir. That is something that I'd like to capitalize on, but also that process of getting the person to the ground. I've been working wrestling with Coach Chase Pammy, a high-level coach, trains several UFC fighters, and he's been a great knowledge base in my corner. He's expanded my wrestling, my wall work, and concepts that I didn't learn in the jiu-jitsu. So I believe that I'm becoming a more well-rounded fighter, being more comfortable in different positions.
UFC 298, in front of a sold-out crowd again. You know, you've had 2 fights at the Apex, you've had a fight in front of a sold-out crowd. Are you excited to be back in front of a crowd?
Yeah, I'm excited to fight outside of Vegas. I believe that I perform better when I'm going to another city, leaving the normal routine behind. There's one focus when you get out of your environment, and I believe that's gonna help me.
You're stepping in on shorter notice than regularly. When they give you the name Danny Barlow, did you know who he was at all?
I didn't know who he was. I might have saw his contender fight, and I just did my research. I'm glad that they gave me a prospect that I can show my skills with and test me as well. I'm not looking for the easy fights. I'm looking for fights that'll test me. I'm looking to fight the best individuals or individuals that will test me in the end. So I believe he has great skills. He's another puzzle to be solved, and similar attributes that as my last opponent. So I'm coming in with a different game plan and seeing how it plays out.
On paper, it's a very, very fun fight. Both of you guys are fun strikers. I guess, what do you think of the matchup as a whole?
I think Danny Barlow is a great fighter. I think his trajectory is going well, and I feel that we're going to bring out the best in each other. He's a very disciplined person. I'm not really looking at the person he is, more the martial artist he is. I respect him as a person, but I'm trying to leave any emotions or that type of thing out of the picture. I'm looking at him as a martial artist, his strengths, his weaknesses, and looking to capitalize on it.
So at the end of the day, at UFC 298, how do you get your hand raised?
I get my hand raised by getting that W. I'm going in there with the mindset. My coach drills in me, will beats skill. And when everything's said and done, you have to go in and believe that you're a winner. And I believe that I'm gonna go get that victory. I believe that it's gonna be decisive, and I'm gonna give glory to God. I appreciate the opportunity, and that's what it is. Me being a martial artist, he being a martial artist. We're not going in there with bad intentions. We're going in there to implement what we need to do, and that's it's been my focus for the past several months, beginning of the year. So I'm looking forward to getting my hand raised any way possible, but there's a few scenarios that I've been working on.
Do you plan on keeping your 100% finish rate?
Man, 100% finish rate. I'm looking to finish the fight. I'm not looking to go to decision. That's not how I fight. I'm not trying to outpoint my partner. I'm not trying to get him to the ground and hold him there. I'm looking to get the W, and that's how I started fighting, and that's how I'm going to continue fighting.
Last thing about the fight, do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder, or do you feel like you have some pressure on you since you're coming off your first professional loss?
I'm not feeling any pressure. If anything, it's less pressure if I had an undefeated record, and I'm looking at the long game. I'm looking at the development of continue to be better every fight. If I go in with a different game plan but revert back to my old ways, then that's me not being successful. Even if I win that way, then that's me showing that I wasn't able to grow as a fighter, grow as a person. So I'm removing the emotion from it, looking at the skill set that I have to implement, and I believe I made the necessary adjustments to get that W and show that I'm developing as a martial artist. This is a long-term thing. I believe that martial arts has taught me a lot, whether it's philosophy, whether it's, adjusting martial arts reflects life, life reflects art, and it's teaching me many things, and not to be so rigid in my approach and continue to develop, learning from our mistakes, learning from those hard lessons, but becoming a new person in the process.
Are you looking to be a little bit more active this year?
Yes, sir. I've talked to my management group, Iridium, with Jason House. Iridium's a great team. They've always provided great support and great opportunities for me. I've told him my goals and my vision for this year, and I would like to be consistent. I'm already consistent with the training. Injuries are not a problem right now, so if that's not a problem, injuries are not a problem, then I would like to fight.
Awesome. And finally, the main event of your card, Alexander Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria. What your thoughts on the fight, and who do you believe is going to come out victorious?
Ilia and Volkanovski, or Topuria and Volkanovski, those are great fighters. I'm not going to take anything away from either of them. Even before Ilia made it to top 10 or contender, I saw him on an embedded. I'm like, just him moving around, you can see his level. But Volkanovski's been there and has been seasoned. He's a champion, he's done the work, and he's fought different types of people. Even though Ilia's coming in with a good momentum, I believe they're both different fighters, and it's going to be a game of strategy, and I'm not going to choose one or the other. I just love the fight game. I love there's so much probability. Maybe one person has a higher probability of winning, but that's a fight game. It could switch in an instance, and that's why it's so exciting. And I'm just excited to see them clash and see what comes out victorious.
All right, I got one more follow-up. There's been this big thing that Volkanovski's turning around too quick after being finished by Islam Makhachev. Do you think that's going to play anything in the fight, or you don't know the situation, so you don't really know?
That's a good question. I believe that Volkanovski and Islam, that fight, I know it was a good fight. I saw some highlights. I don't think I saw the full fight, but it was a lot back and forth. Volkanovski did hold his own against Islam, and that was very impressive. Even though I didn't know the way it ended, I know Islam won, but I didn't know Volkanovski got finished. And Volkanovski's a warrior. He has that warrior mindset, and just like he said, on that off time, sometimes it's hard when you don't have a goal. It's hard when you don't have that date, and maybe that date's gonna continue. That date's gonna give him that drive, give him that fire. So I think it's good for him. I believe he got the proper time to recover, and I believe he's gonna be his best on that day.
Awesome. Josh, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. If you want to plug your social media, any sponsors you might have, and if you want to thank anybody, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Alex. I would like to thank, Jesus Christ, and how he provides all of the things we need just at the right time. Whether it's a hard situation or a tough situation, it's there for your good and your growth. So that's the main focus, and appreciating the martial arts, appreciating UFC for providing the opportunities and the resources to keep us healthy and give us opportunities on a beautiful stage. And I'd like to thank my coaches. All my coaches is a long list of different coaches, but they know who they are, and my teammates, everyone that creates me who I am today. I believe that the exchange of energy, the positive energy, allows us to be our best, even when we feel down or less than. People seeing the best in us. God sees the best in us. So I'd like to thank Iridium as well, just to give me the opportunities. I'm continuing this journey, being consistent, taking it serious, and enjoying every day.